What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin Bees. I am a wife, a mom, a military veteran, and I spent 13 and a half years in multi-level marketing, healed my way out, and now I'm using all of my social media platforms to educate and raise awareness around the dangers of multi-level marketing companies and the tactics used by the reps. If you're brand new, welcome. I'm so glad you are here. Hope you stick around, drop a comment, and at the end of the video, I'd love to see you subscribe to my channel to help push this information out to individuals that also could use this information. If you are a member, shout out to you guys. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate every like, every comment, every subscriber. You guys are amazing, and watching my channel grow, we're really getting close to 9,000 subscribers, and it's blowing me away. Anyways, if you would like to follow me on social media, here are my social media handles. I'm the most active on Instagram, and I do have some fun on TikTok. So if you want to follow me over there, cool. And today, I'm very excited because we have an Elomir video. It's been a while since we have covered Elomir on my channel. Actually, I don't think I've really seen anybody talking about Elomir, including Elomir. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But really, what's going on? Not a whole lot from the groups and the chats and all of that stuff. It doesn't appear that there's a lot going on. But anyways, this was sent to me. Shout out to the individual that sent it to me. I appreciate you guys so much. And it is Van, the CEO, and Dr. Becky, who is she's on their medical board or something. I think she's a former gastroenterologist or something along those lines. And yeah, we're going to hear what they have to say about Elomir. And yeah, so drop your commentary. And yes, I'm a little sassy right now. It is what it is. And let's watch this together.
Awesome. Well, perfect. Happy Tuesday, everyone. I hope you guys are having a wonderful start to your week. As you guys are all hopping on, I know everyone looks forward to our Tuesday call. It's called Get Educated with our medical director, Dr. Becky. As you guys are hopping on, go ahead and let us know, are you catching the live or the replay? And please let us know where you're dialing in from, whether you're across the United States, in Canada, or even around the world. I know that our strips have been heard as far as Australia, London. I've heard so many people that are waiting anxiously for us to come to their country. And so if you are dialed in and you're watching and you're learning and understanding before we're ready to come into your market, go ahead and drop what country you're dialing in from. But we're excited this evening for the call, and I want to go ahead and just quickly set it up for Dr. Becky and step aside, because I am so excited to hear her experience today on what she got to encounter. And I'm sure she got to hear so many incredible stories. But this evening, we're going to be talking about our cyclodextrin technology.
Did she just say cyclodextrin? I don't think that's how you say that, ma'am. Cyclodextrin. Let's see if that's even a thing. No, cyclodextrin, which is sugar molecules bound together in rings of various sizes. But if she is saying the incorrect thing, odd that the CEO is saying the incorrect thing, right? Does anybody know what a cyclodextrin is?
And so if you wanted to continue to understand and wonder why our product is so effective on a strip with the minimal amount of ingredients that we do have, you'll understand this evening why with our cyclodextrin. And of course, I don't want to take too much of the story away from Dr. Becky, but I'm excited to hear what she got to experience at an event she attended today that had our servicemen and women that have obviously fought for our country. Some of them are retired. I think they were all retired, maybe?
Or some, yeah.
Okay, active and retired. And so I'm excited to hear her experience. And then, of course, after hearing those stories, she kind of shared with me the self-awareness that she had and how incredible our mechanism would be and beneficial to our servicemen and women. So what I want to go ahead and do is
Van, I'm going to need you to keep your greedy little hands, in my opinion, off of our military veterans. Leave my people alone. Oh, I can already tell this is going to piss me off. It sounds like Dr. Becky was at some sort of a veterans event. And now she's going to talk about how, well, our strips could help these veterans. Oh, I don't like it.
Step aside and hand the call over to our medical director, Dr. Becky.
Thank you, Van. It's always an honor. Hi, everybody. Just by way of background, I'm a retired gastrointestinal specialist, and I am such a proud member of Elomir and to be your medical director. And I want to share a really important story from today because I wasn't expecting it, but it really impacted me. And it really impacted me in terms of the type of technology we have with Elomir. And so this morning, I woke up to a very early morning phone call from a friend of mine. Her name is Mint, and she's a beautiful, fantastic singer here in San Diego. And she said she was going to be down here in Little Italy singing the national anthem for an event. And I didn't know anything about this, but I just said, you know what, I'm getting up, I'm going down there. I don't know what this is. And when I got there, it actually was a USO event, and it was an event for wounded warriors. And I wasn't expecting that. And just, you know, again, by way of background, my dad was a lieutenant in the Army. So I was born in Italy, and he was stationed in Vicenza outside of Verona, which was close to the Swiss Alps. And so I understand the military, but I wasn't expecting exactly what I saw today down in Little Italy, right in the main plaza. And it was incredible to see all these military participants that were in wheelchairs, that were missing limbs. They were struggling with a lot of challenges, but it was a celebration. It was an incredible celebration. So I just immersed myself in it. I just sat down right in the middle of it. And I got to meet so many military people. Most of them were men, but I did meet some women. They've all had some really incredible challenges. And so when I sat down, there was a gentleman from the United Kingdom that came and sat next to me, and he said, "Hey, I don't like crowds. Can I sit next to you?" And I said, "Well, you're probably in the wrong place if you don't like crowds." And so
I'm already extremely irritated. Her laid back attitude, I guess that's the best way I can put that, when she said, I didn't even know what this event was, and then it was a USO event, and I'm so irritated already. There are a lot of military veterans that have a hard time with crowds because of what they went through in their military service. To laugh it off, you know, like, oh, I think you're in the wrong place. No, that veteran is in the right place, surrounded by other veterans that can relate, that can connect them with resources. I already don't like where this is going. This is a doctor or a former doctor, and this person is partnered with a multi-level marketing company. I don't know what this video was titled or anything like that, but the fact that wounded warriors is being mentioned, and the fact that she's going to share some of these veteran stories, and I don't know if their product was introduced. I hope not, because I will contact Wounded Warrior 100%. And let them know who they're working with and who they're attempting to target. That's what it feels like to me. I don't know if that's going to be part of it, or I don't know if she's going to be telling these stories and saying, listen, we've got a product that can help these people. Either way, yeah, I'm not happy right now at all.
got to know this gentleman, only 40 years of age. I said, "You don't look like you have health challenges or disability." I said, "What's going?"
I'm going to stop that right there. You are a former doctor. You should know the invisible chronic illness situations that people have to face every day. You don't always look sick. You don't always look like you have, you know, physical challenges, if you will. for my people that are watching this that are challenged with chronic illness, I am going to apologize for this former doctor.
Going on with you? He said 3 years prior, when he was 37 years old, he had congestive heart failure from cardiomegaly. Nobody understood it. Then he had a stroke, and then he had an aneurysm in his brain. And so he's been struggling with that ever since. And so, I didn't go down there to talk about Elomir or to hand out strips or do any of that, but just by listening to him, I felt the need to talk to him about how thiamine helps the ejection fraction of the heart, how it helps the CNS, the peripheral nervous system, how curcumin helps, how N-acetylcysteine helps. And so through talking to him, I got to meet all these Marines that were from the United Kingdom. And then they found out I was born in Italy. So I got to meet all the Marines from Italy. And then I met a bunch of group from Estonia and France. And what was interesting is when they learned I was a medical professional, they wanted to tell me their stories, not only about PTSD, stress, concentration issues, sleepless nights, ADD, ADHD, OCD, but also a lot of intestinal issues, which I found to be amazing. A lot of them had reflux esophagitis, they had stomach ulcers, small intestinal issues, hepatitis. And a lot of them were really young. And so I listened and I just took it in, and I thought it just brought me back to what Elomir has in terms of a delivery system that can bypass the intestinal tract to get nutrients right into our vascular system and right into our cells, our DNA, our brain, our vital organs.
Ma'am, when you put a strip in your mouth and it comes in contact with saliva, that is a part of the digestive system. I don't know how these people still don't get that part.
Support not only the microbiome, but also to support our brain chemistry, the immune system, the endocrine system, our detoxification organs, our, everything, cardiovascular, respiratory, urinary. And so I really didn't talk to them about that. I just listened. So I think the big thing about what I'm talking about this evening is it's so nice to listen to people and hear what their challenges are, because I've always said we have such a gift here with a product and nutrients that help us with so many different things that are so synergistic within our body. And by listening to people and hearing their challenges, you have a way to share something so simple as a strip that says, put this on your tongue. I'm not sure if it's going to work for you, but you know what? I think it probably will. It's not going to hurt.
It's not going to hurt, but you hide behind a proprietary blend, so people don't know exactly what they're taking. And taking on top of that, there are no studies on the strips themselves. There's studies on turmeric, there's studies on NAC, there's studies on all of these other things. And from the launch of Elomir, that's what we saw people using. Here's the studies. Well, the study was not done on the strip. The study was done on specific ingredients that were of a certain dosage in a controlled group, none of which has happened with Elomir and their strips.
Going to support, your ability to ward off toxicity, to ward off, challenges with your gut, your brain chemistry. And so the more I sat there, I was down there for probably 5 hours and met so many amazing military people that have supported our country. And they had a bunch of politicians down there. I didn't know who these people were, but you could tell they were politicians. But the whole event was really special to support people that gave of their lives as not only first responders, but being, in Afghanistan for 3 tours.
I'm really annoyed by this. She is taking these people's stories and turning it into a way to, in a sense, pitch Elomir. Those stories don't belong to you. I am so disgusted by this.
I mean, the gentleman that sat with me from the UK for most of the afternoon, being at 37 when he had his disability, he already did 3 tours in Afghanistan. And I was like, are you kidding me? I said, what made you go into the military? And he said to me, he goes, when I was a teenager, I was bored. I'm like, well, I don't understand that exactly, but here's a gentleman that gave of his life and gave so much to support the country that he's part of. I mean, he's from the UK. So I met people that were part of representing not only the US, but all these other countries. And I thought it was amazing to learn the fact that a lot of them have challenges. And so when we're out there and we're talking to people and we're listening to people, we want.
You were surprised to hear that military veterans have challenges? That's shocking to you? That's surprising to you? I mean, how out of touch are you? I don't understand. Like,
to learn about them, and then you have something that you can give to them. So when I talk about the cyclodextrin technology, the water soluble.
she said it right, cyclodextrin. Also, leave my military veterans, my people, leave them alone. What she's doing here, in my opinion, is she's going to teach the people of Elomir how to market to veterans. This should piss you off. It pisses me off when multi-level marketing companies target any specific demographic, but to target military veterans, my people, I'm going to keep saying that because this just really irritates me. All of it irritates me. Leave my people alone.
Technology passive delivery system that goes right into the system and nourishes our body and our cells and our DNA and helps with combating oxidative stress. It really means a lot when I go out and I spend time around people to understand what they're struggling with. And once I know more about them, once I know what they're struggling with, then it makes me understand what kind of gift that we do have to impart to people. And what I did learn a lot today with, gentlemen that had, and women that had esophageal issues like reflux esophagitis.
I'm glad she corrected herself, because just like myself, there are female veterans, there are non-binary veterans, there are male veterans. So let's not categorize everybody into one gender, if you will. Oh.
Something called achalasia or dysphagia, meaning that food does not pass through your esophagus very well. Met some type 1 diabetics that have gastroparesis, which meaning your stomach doesn't empty very well. And then they had celiac issues, hepatic issues, colon issues. So the fact that we have something that you can put on your tongue that dissolves and using micrograms of nutrients to get into your system without having the degradation of either a small, like a small esophagus or gastroparesis issues or small intestinal issues, hepatic issues. We have something that goes right into the system. And isn't that special to have something that's so unique? And like I've always said, when I do these.
Isn't that weird that she's talking about nutrients being absorbed? It's almost like she's trying to say, for example, somebody with gastroparesis, I think that's what she called it, where the stomach is not emptying. It's like she's suggesting, from the sounds of it, I could be reading into this, and please feel free to comment below if you're kind of feeling the same way or not. But it almost sounds like she's trying to say, this is something that we can help them with. Well, if they're not getting the nutrients from food because they have digestive challenges, do you really think that a strip that has turmeric and NAC and thiamine is going to help them? No, you're just trying to sell a product. I swear to God, if they start going to like USO events or veterans events, I'm going to raise holy hell. I'm just telling y'all that right now.
Calls. We're not nano, we're not lipo, we're not any of that. We are water soluble, glucose based, passive diffusion that's cyclodextrin. And having that uniqueness that allows people to experience something that helps their brain chemistry and their microbiome and their immune system and their endocrine system, and helping to prevent leaky gut syndrome and helping to support our detoxification organs.
Let's see the studies on that. Let's see the double-blind studies on the Elomir strip. I'd love to see it.
We have something that's super, super unique and special. And I just wanted to share that because, you know, I came back today and I cried.
Stop it.
Because a lot of these people have done so much and given up so much in their lives. And I didn't want to cry, but it was a special day because I knew that I had a gift to share with them. And I definitely respected them, and I respected their stories, and I respected the fact that they've gone through such challenges. You know, and when I trained at the University of Arizona, when I did my GI training, so I trained, you know, being a gastrointestinal specialist, you had to do a year of training at the University of Arizona. And I did a year at the Veterans Hospital. And that was probably the best year I ever did. So, Van, I'm going to cut this short, but I just wanted to say I bless all of you for, you know, sending me blessings about my dad and sending blessings that you all do all the time. You're so supportive. That's why I love this family. That's why I love what we.
Okay, so now we're going into emotional manipulation. I don't know what she's referring to with her dad. I appreciate the fact that her dad was a veteran. I really do not like the fact that she is using these stories of these veterans in order to talk to the people of Elomir and say, hey, we have something here that can help them. What that's going to do is they're going to start targeting veterans. Oh, and then the tears. And then, you know, like, oh, I'm irritated. I'm counting to 10. Okay.
We have in our hands, what we have to impart to people. And sometimes it is a challenge because when you're in the network marketing industry and you're in nutrition, you wear a lot of hats. You wear a tremendous lot of hats. And when you're out there and you're just, you know, trying to support people, it can become a little bit frustrating, or maybe, you know, you can be distraught at times. But you have to, you know, you have to set your goals. You have to know what your intentions are, and you have to respect people, and you have to just keep going forward with what, you know, you are trying to impart to others, because that's the most important thing. Because when you're out there and you can change a life, or maybe save a life, or do something that's important, then you have that gift. And that's what Elomir brings to people.
No, Elomir does not save people's lives. No. I don't know if that could even be considered a health claim. I guess it technically could. I love that she referred to it as family. A culty family, maybe, in my opinion.
It brings a gift to others, and we have the ability to share that. And I'm sorry for getting emotional, but today was an emotional day, and I just respected all these people I met in wheelchairs that didn't have limbs, that had, you know, brain issues and gastrointestinal issues and immune issues, and got sick when they were overseas. And I just felt like I was back in medical school again, because that's how I was bombarded when I was truly in practice dealing with people that were truly ill. And once we can recognize that people struggle, then we can also recognize that we have that gift to impart our hearts to help people.
And that should be separate. That should be separate. I understand her emotion. I literally had to get myself together for a second. I can understand her emotion listening to veterans and their stories and what they've been through and what they have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, especially when there's injuries, disabilities. It's a lot for people to take in. It's a lot. So I get that. And if it was really about supporting these veterans and hearing their stories, then this wouldn't be tied into Elomir. And that's the part that bothers me is she's talking about these stories and they should be talked about. These veterans should be talked about. Their stories should be shared, but not shared in a way where, hey, we have a solution for them. No. No.
And do that. So Van, I know it's a short call tonight, and I'm sorry. It's been an emotional day.
No, Dr. Becky, we really appreciate it. And you have no idea. We appreciate the sacrifices that you make and the ability to just kind of show up, especially during the hard times. So just know that all of us, including people outside of Elomir, we're sending our prayers to you and your dad and everything that's going on. And I know that what you witnessed today, I can't even imagine of just what I've seen in my life versus what you got to experience this afternoon with the amount of servicemen and women that surrounded you today. And so I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I truly appreciate you being here with us and showing your heart to everyone, and everyone is sending their prayers to you. And for me, it hits the nail on the head for what we stand for here at Elomir, why our mantra is to leave people better, because truly the world doesn't fully understand what society has done to us. And what you always talk about, being nutritionally bankrupt, and our food is just not carrying the nutrients that our body needs in order for our body to do what is necessary. And so the thing that I'm constantly reminded of is that meme that I saw years ago that said, nothing matters or everything matters until your health is the issue. And you come to realize the only thing that truly mattered was your health. And we tend to put that as the back burner to our life until we either ourselves experience something that is life-threatening, or we witness a close loved one go through it, and you realize that life is very fragile. And so I truly appreciate and respect you so much.
And I'll just share this, because a lot of the people I spoke to today, they were young. I mean, so, I'm 58, but a lot of the people I talked to, they were in their 30s and 40s, and they were dealing with challenges that I couldn't even imagine going through at that age. And that's probably why it impacted me so much. I mean, my dad's older, he's in his 80s. So I understand the challenges when you get into that age group. But these people that I met today, they were young, a lot of them really young, that have dealt through, they went through hell and back. And that's why I just had a really impactful day. And it just made me think about what we have in terms of Elomir and Access Clarity and the nutrients and what we can deliver to people to help them. And I think that was the big impact for me today.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate it because I truly believe in it. And, you heard our story, and everybody that does represent our company that has been in close proximity of me or maybe been on a call, I will tell you that Access Clarity in particular, because it's our very first product and the one that I'm truly proud of the most, is because what you experienced with the 30-plus-year-olds, we're also now witnessing that the younger generation are now dealing with the problems that they, not necessarily the same, because obviously they served in the military, but the younger generation has their own set of problems. And I watched a video where this doctor was talking about how, where society is at today and how we are damaging our gut because of, bread. Like, for example, they were talking about wheat and how they actually take out all of the fiber, which is the benefit of the wheat.
So now we're moving into fear mongering, it feels like. And also, I'm just going to say this one phrase. Van, cite your sources. Cite your sources.
And all they give you is the carbohydrates, which is just a sugar bomb to your gut. And because of that, it's the leading cause to many different ailments. And amongst young adults, suicide is the #2 killer for young adults. Mm-hmm. And so I can't even imagine what parents are going through and experiencing with the younger generation right now. And this is the reason why our company exists today, because we just wanted to find a way to create a company that has incredible products, knowing that our technology, you can't beat it in the market right now for absorption. And then, of course, our culture of we want to leave people better. We want to create an environment where there is a community here, like what you just said on your call. I love that you went there to just listen. You didn't go there to just sell the product and make $1 off of everybody. It was truly, you just wanted to hear.
No, but instead she's doing a live on your corporate page talking about Wounded Warrior, sharing her experiences and saying how we have something here to help them. She may not have gone to the event to do that, but she absolutely is trying to sell to veterans. That's the whole reason that you guys are doing this. Also, I find it interesting that she's talking about the rate of people unaliving themselves in young adults, but doesn't address that in veterans. This to me feels like clickbait. Listen to these stories from this Wounded Warriors event. And oh, by the way, Elomir is something, that can help. I think that that's really gross. I think this all is very gross. I'm very irritated by all of this. Yeah. I want to also update. Actually, I did a quick Google search, and it's 22 to 24 veterans aged 18 to 64 unalive themselves every single day. Go listen to the stories. Go connect with people. If there's events in your area, go support these individuals. Don't try to sell them an MLM product, whether it's at the event itself or in a roundabout way like these two are doing right now.
What people were experiencing and the things that they were struggling with. And so that is the environment and the culture that we're building here with Elomir, and we absolutely appreciate it. And this is why you fit in so perfectly with all of us.
Thank you. Well, and what's interesting too is as I got to meet, a lot of these individuals, and we did talk about N-acetylcysteine, we talked about curcumin, we talked about thiamine, and a lot of the people I talked to today, they're like, oh my God, curcumin. Yes, we know about that. We know about brain chemistry. We know it's a prebiotic. We know about thiamine. We know about N-acetylcysteine and glutathione. So, and I think because a lot of them, they had to go through recovery, through their trauma, and they had a chance to learn. And so they learned a lot about nutrition and a lot about nutrients and how to support their body and their brain. So to have conversations with them, it was not going in cold. They actually understood a lot of what I was saying. And I love that because, they're getting educated and, they're young. And so they can impart that to their kids and they can impart that to their friends. And it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Didn't she say she didn't go to sell, but she was sitting here talking about Elomir with all of these veterans? That seems a little ironic, maybe. I don't know.
No, definitely. I'm excited, and I appreciate it. And as you may or may not see in the comment box, everyone is sending their love and prayers to you right now, and everyone's just so appreciative of you just sharing that experience, because I think it hits home for some people, especially if you have significant others, kids that are in the military. And so for me personally, this is what we're doing here. And if you come back in a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, and you see Elomir, you're going to see that we're building this infrastructure where it's not just about a network marketing product or opportunity. It truly is a culture that we're establishing, and we truly want to be the change in the world, where I know we can't physically reach everyone in this world. However, we can reach as far as we can within our community and create this environment where we welcome you in. And what I love about what you do, Dr. Becky, on your educational calls is I love that you give diet tips, what type of food and, ingredients to integrate into your diet on a daily basis to improve your body and your overall optimal operation. And then on top of that, you also talk about chemicals to avoid. And I absolutely love that, because that's what we all need today, because in school, they don't teach you any of that. You just have a normal food pyramid and you follow the pyramid and
you follow the pyramid. Yeah. Sounds to me, just in my opinion, that that's what Van and her husband do. They follow whatever pyramid presents themselves or presents it to themselves. That's worded weird. You know what I'm saying? That's what it sounds like to me. And by the way, do you guys think Elomir is going to be around for another 5 to 10 years? Because I sure don't, because the conversations in some of their team chats where people are trying to get rid of their front-loaded Elomir strips to other distributors is quite fascinating. but don't take my word for it.
Nobody creates awareness to anything that is so important to the body. So we absolutely appreciate it. I don't know if you wanted to add anything else, Dr. Becky, before we.
No, I'm good. I appreciate everybody. And, today was an emotional day, but I'm glad I got that out on the table. And I appreciate you, Van. It's an honor to be part of this company. It really is.
Thank you so much, Dr. Becky. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful evening. And we will catch you guys on Thursday with Q&A with Dr. Becky at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
And I'm done with that. I'm sure you guys are too. I know that normally I'm a lot more, I laugh and I giggle. I had no idea that this was going to be the way that it was. I think that there's a very real reason that they mentioned Wounded Warrior. I think there's a very real reason that they mentioned, attending the event and the stories and some of the challenges that some of these veterans are having. And I think it's absolutely disgusting to be selling them this overpriced multi-level marketing company's product that is not backed by any studies. And especially when you can get these same ingredients from stores over the counter, like over the counter, local health food stores, those types of things. Really, really annoyed. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all of your commentary. I know this was kind of like my vibe was a little bit different in this video, but this kind of stuff really irritates me. I don't like the fact that any demographic is targeted. It irritates me, but this one, I think they mentioned it in the video. This hits a little bit close to home for me. So don't join an MLM, you guys. No. And if you loved today's video, feel free to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're getting really close to 9,000, which is insane to me, but I'm so grateful. And yeah, you guys are amazing. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.